Monkey see, monkey do! So who the fuck made you? Who the fuck made you? It feels like 1,000 years since I fell in love. But when the price catches up, love will never be enough. Love will never be enough. Enough. Time to call your bluff, can't the sin readjust. Enough. Let it go, it's tough. All the goddesses is rough. Watch your close to the time. Now it's get a hot take before our heart breaks. I'm taking my gaze, I can't sustain. Round, just playing the same damn game. I run away, and I say you're drunk. You do what you can, and I'll bring the big sorrow. Push it to the edge. Force the cloud from the mountain. Move down, play the game. Say my name, bitch. No queen and no offspring. Hail the ending. Let the ball swing. It's all the same. Time to let go. Time to cut the cord. When love runs its course, falls without one. Looking big, looking loose. Just take this ache away and build a better place where we will be wrong. Instead of providing to the world alone. Love will never be. There's a bunch of bullshit to take the pain away. Temporary fix, focus on the outside, while the soft bits left right away on the inside. Fuck that!
When we joined the Covenant, we took an oath.
According to our station, all without exception.
On the blood of our fathers, on the blood of our sons, we swore to uphold the Covenant.
Even to our dying breath.
Those who would break this oath are heretics, worthy of neither pity nor mercy. Even now, they use our Lord's creations to broadcast their lies.
We shall grind them into dust.
And continue our march to glorious salvation.
You're like the rust Excuse me. Excuse me. Can I have your attention, please? Tonight, we have for you entertainment of the most marvelous of sorts. That's right, back from the dungeon. The King's Jester will give you the performance of a lifetime. It's true. So, without further ado, everyone, welcome to the show.
Around me that I can't see, you know, lay down on my knees, but they won't leave. My whole demons life around me that I can't see, people always thought I was knees, but they won't leave. Demons around me that I can't see, lay down on my knees, but they won't leave. Demons around me that I can't see, lay down on my knees, but they won't leave. I'm smart as they come, just be careful what you're trying to pull. Being sneaky, trying to out-treat me, you must think I'm a fool. I'm the Grandmaster, the rocket scientist from Lancaster, dumping humongous buckets of flavor on you bland bastards. I eat rappers and crap souls, the ghost of the collapsed old shack where the black pumpkin patch grows. I scratched holes in the coffin that they latch closed, dug up through the ground, broke the surface and my ass rose. Now I stand with the staff in my hand, a broken man looking out over the land from which I was banned. But I return in disguise to blend amongst the people, menacing, seeking vengeance against any presumptive evil. Demon spawn, sneak in your room at the gleam of dawn, wake you up, stab you in the face before you even yawn. And this is how I envisioned it all along. Just give me the heads of those who imprisoned me, I'll be gone. Demons around me that I can't see, lay down on my knees, but they won't leave. Demons around me that I can't see, lay down on my knees, but they won't leave. Demons around me that I can't see, lay down on my knees, but they won't leave. Demons around me that I can't see, lay down on my knees, but they won't leave. I used to entertain people in such innocent ways. Now I juggle 4-foot ninja blades and pitless grenades, drinking kerosene and breathing flames. I sneeze at people and casually say excuse me while they scream in pain. You get indicted for corporate stock extortions, I get indicted for unlawfully breathing life into rotten corpses. In cemeteries in the blackest darkness, I start to track the bark behind the maintenance shack, dig up and snatch a carcass and drag them back to the lair. You know what happens there, surgical staples and dry blood stained mattress tears, replacing fingers with claws, stuffing faces with stars, and implanting flesh-eating jaws bigger than that of bears. That means my army of zombies is on its way to you all. The militia assault for the likes of which you can't prepare. Contraire to be chasing you as you run scared. Hop in your closet, light a match, and this one there. around me that I can't see. Bleed down on my knees, but they won't leave. Demons around me that I can't see. Bleed down on my knees, but they won't leave. Welcome to the greatest asylum. Welcome to the greatest show. Welcome to the coldest, darkest hole. Watch the dancing Joker cry. Watch the teardrops on his eyes dry for all eternity. And so come to the one genuine article surrounded by a crock of facades. So with the final bow, y'all don't even gotta applaud, cause I can give a damn about claps. I get those by pushing people into empty pools full of cocked mouse traps. All along I've been waiting and waiting, the violence and wrath that my chains were negating. Dreaming of times and dreaming of places when I can set you up and scream in the faces. Scream in your faces. Scream in your faces.
You sound like a bitch.
Hello, hello, hello. What up? Let me pull up a chair. God damn. Yo, how's the audio sound? Testing, testing, 1, 2, mic check. Throw that a little bit, please. Let me see the remote. One of the. All right, okay. It's been quite a while since I've done this. I'm doing good. No complaints. Minding my own business. Still finding myself in a bunch of shit, but I wouldn't be me if I didn't. There's actually quite a few topics I want to talk about today. I'm going to be on here for, but there's a couple of topics that they're not crazy or anything. They're not controversial in any way. They're more or less questions that I have yet to get answered. This is stuff that everybody else talks about, right? It's not my usual forte of topics when people talk, but mainly so on what specifically is a high value man, because there seems to be not a universal agreed upon definition for it. And what I'm understanding about it, because I mean, in a way, Maybe somebody else coined it before him and I just don't know about it, but to my knowledge and recollection, Kevin Samuels created that, right? Or said it a lot and got the most famous for it, right? And the definition of it seems to always fleet. Like it's always scarce. Like it's always seems to be more or less makeshift, which probably tells me more or less that it's one of those make up as you go type makeshift secular things. But getting back to my original point, before I digress, ramble on about God knows what. Predominantly, what a high value man is more or less the men's version of a whore, right? You have money and you have options, and you utilize the options even though you are in a relationship, even if it's going good. I could be wrong, right? I don't mind being corrected on that, but why I bring that up specifically was for the second reason was, what's a good woman? Right? What is she? Is she committed? Does she have standards and boundaries that make you choose her? Is she one of those types that, and I say it in layman's terms as possible, right? As dumbed down, as watered down to be understood the most. Because then a whole lot of other shit comes in, like semantics and all that. Also, this was the second topic thing about me taking everybody's wrenches away, right? I did. But that was because I had assumed that I was done going live, right? Now I think I pretty much said, all right, I'm gonna check this time slot out and see what happens and what goes on with it. As I get more consistent with my lives again, the wrenches will return, right? For those who care. If not, feel free to disregard completely. But anywho, I think another thing I wanted to talk about as well was also, do you have to be a part of the norm to be accepted? Like, do you have to fit in what's going on? What trends? Yeah, I'm just fucking rambling about nothing, making any sense to nobody, but this shit feels weird. I'm gonna be real with you. Going live again. Even if I have to monologue it, I had clips that I was gonna upload and I completely wholeheartedly forgot. Yeah, so next week, next Thursday, I'm gonna have my clips ready for the topic at hand. So more or less, I just gotta shoot from the hip with this one. So here's the deal. I have a. How do I word this correctly? so it's understood. I do have a Discord server that I invited people that's in there, but it ain't necessarily mine, right? I helped create it. I was asked for help, and I really created it. Now it's still under construction. There's things that still need to be figured out. So if there's anybody watching that is in the Discord, I know nothing's going on in there right now, but I'm waiting for pretty much confirmation for a few other things, for more people to join and all that jazz. So be patient, bear with me, all that bullshit. Gone a lot, a whole lot. And it has a lot of people. Well, people will argue over sticks and rocks, right? So it doesn't take much for the quote unquote space to get divided on something. A lot. When I mean a lot, I'm talking about Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony, the Shiloh Hendricks stuff, and a few other things. Right? The Diddy case, the what's his name, Tory Lanez. The world is in a frenzy right now. This story, that story. I'm gonna be real with you. If you're like me and you have a trained ear, you know that these are just distractions from what actually matters. A whole lot of shit, right? So that tells you inherently that the puppet master Sorry about that. But anyway, back to my point. Yeah, you know what I mean? The stuff that isn't being talked about in the media. So what is being talked about in the media usually is whether or not you choose to believe what that is, that's wholeheartedly up to you. I have absolutely zero desire to wake up minds or change them. So that's that. So I'm just gonna have a cloud watcher, and I'm gonna monologue it today. All good. It feels weird too, and not only that, it's just maybe I'm mad at myself here, but it makes but it kind of feels like, I guess what I'm looking for when I ask for guests is just another perspective on the show. I guess more so over, but anywho. I hear you. I hear a quick commercial break and gather the rest of my thoughts.
Pistols put holes in people. Rifles put holes through people. Shotguns at the right range with the right load will physically remove a chunk of shit off your opponent and throw that shit on the floor. Pistols put holes in people.
You sound like a bitch.
Oh, got some folks in. What up, Anton? How you doing, my friend? There's a lot going on right now, bro. A lot of people are fighting over what doesn't really seem to be, well, at least to me, maybe that's just my perspective. To me, on small topics nowadays, I guess more so over about the free speech thing, how you shouldn't say this word or shouldn't say that word. And then the other pushback on that is whether or not you have uh, you're okay to say it, even if it's in the song, like the quote unquote so-called N-word. Mind you, I see no problem with free speech. I'm one of those say what the fuck you want people. I don't give a shit. I guess my real question about that would be what specifically gives you the right to say. It's crazy how musicians will make music who spent money. That's facts. That's facts big time. Damn, it is. How about now? My goddamn Wi-Fi is wonky as shit. All right, cool. Thanks. I have to talk about this so I don't forget or lose the point on it either. About the high value man thing. It typically to me sounds like somebody who more or less is a degenerate with money. Now, mind you, I'm not saying that's what it specifically is. I'm talking about when I ask about what the definition is, what the overall consensus has been from my observation. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that's the definite um, end all be all of it. You playing with me or you being for real? Yeah, because what I was saying earlier about that earlier was it seems what I've gathered about it is more or less one of those secular things that's just you make up as you go type of makeshift man-made things, right? Because then when you get into the bread and butter of it, they said, well, he has options and or what was it? This is from those red pill things, right? That a lot of the things that just don't make you would assume because it's called red pill that the image that comes to mind is the Matrix, and you're there to question your reality and not to accept nothing and question everything. But overall, what the so-called red pill stuff is just a code word for relationship talks now. Nobody's really talking about anything or questioning anything. That's what I was thinking. Yep. Oh, I just remembered a clip that I was supposed to upload for the topic of today. All right. Next week's gonna be good. I promise. I'm gonna have clips. I'm gonna have yeah. I'm not gonna give everything away. Yeah, true. Yeah. At least that's what I, assumed it was supposed to be. But more or less, it's become more or less it's devolved into just what you don't like about relationships. Yeah, they are. They're truly based in opposition. They're not. Oh, there you go. It's not really set in concrete about looking for resolve or a resolution. Everyone just wants to argue about the relationships. And here's the thing: I'm gonna take full blame on my part, right? Wholeheartedly, right now. I do participate, so I'm not dragging the space in it, right? I'm not talking down about it. At least not a whole lot, because a long time ago I said I wasn't gonna get involved, but fucking a, right? But overall, well, it's not an absolute that I'm speaking in, but for the most part, mind you, there's good advice, right? There's good advice from both the older dudes in here and the people my age. But if you really want to get down to the real bread and butter, like, to the nitty gritty of it, quote unquote relationship talks, mm, maybe this is one of those makeshift things, but it doesn't seem logical to have relationship talks, at least not in public, right? Because a relationship is private, it's personal, and you should be talking to your spouse about what you want in a relationship. Now, when you have strangers talking about it, shout out to Jake. He's a good cat. I like him. I'm fucking confused. I gotta leave it alone. I'm doing the show. Me, how I operate, right? 9 times out of 10, I'm a happy camper. I'm a rock and a roller. I roll with the punches, and I just I make do of it. Recently, right? I don't understand why. I honestly don't really care to understand why either, right? But for some odd reason, me personally, been getting a lot of flack about my right wing views. Mind you, I'm not just right wing. I don't have an affinity for praising Trump. I don't have this. The best way I can put it is like Derek from American History X type of right wing, far right. You know what I mean? Now, mind you, that's in the movie. It's a movie, so it's Hollywood. So it exaggerates things. It makes certain points look goofy, and more or less, a movie like that, though it is a good movie, sometimes when you get those are detrimental movies because when you have valid points, it went out of its way to more or less demonize and pervert it and bastardize certain talking points, right? And the general public within its in and of itself is not very bright. You know what I mean? It's like society for the most part is just a bunch of butter knives or like spoons. They're not sentient beings who question shit. They agreed upon what they're told to hate and like, and they just run with it. And I make no bones about it that I'm not sorry or apologize to how I have my views and my beliefs at all. But I'm one of those cats, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I don't have those type of opinions and views for approval. I have those outlets on life because out of experience and not just anecdotes, but for the most part, stuff that I've always felt close in line with. And 9 times out of 10, this is the most ironic part about it, right? The most ironic part about it. It's always somebody who detracts, the type of person who detracts and has like some odd standing pushback is somebody who 9 times out of 10, you don't really know shit about them. And what I mean by that is they're one of those, like I said earlier, secular types that have their beliefs and point of views and morals and outlooks from, make as they go. Not only that, they're always in a rush to push back against you. Which, mind you, I don't mind. I don't care. But there's literally illustration. Maybe what I'm saying is in the ether. You know what I mean? I'm out there, man. Red rum, brother, red rum. But honestly, it's weird because I've been told randomly, right, on what I can and can't say on my own pages, right? I've been told to change my post and take shit down, or I'm the enemy, or I'm the op. And I know it's crazy to me. But we live in the, what's the word? The punch a Nazi society. But anyway, oh yeah, I'm devious, man. I'm devious. Anywho, but I think I'm gonna wrap it up. I don't want to stay up here too long. This is good though. I honestly talked longer than I thought it was. I legitimately was like thinking, ah, this is gonna be like a 10, 15 minute live stream. I missed this. I honestly did. Today I pretty much more or less raw dogged it. I mean, I was supposed to have more stuff, more clips, and more stuff, but I randomly just like totally forgot about all that shit. But trust me, I'm gonna start doing more of the road work again and getting back into the flow of things, getting back into the consistent lives. It's really hard for me to find a good time slot because, and I shouldn't. That's stupid of me to worry about that because I try to go live when folks that I know who are live are not live, right? If that makes any type of sense. But from now on, fuck it. Whoever's live is whoever's live. If I feel like going live at that time, I'm just gonna do it. Fuck it. Not like, but then at the same time though, I'm not on a hurry up road to monetization, right? It would be cool to have that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna complain and sit here and lie. But more or less, I'm having fun with this shit because if I feel like the fucked up part about that is, if I get monetized, I'm gonna lose a shit ton of freedom on here. But like I said earlier, as I get more consistent with the lives again, I'm gonna start handing the wrenches back out. I had a shit ton of mods too. But again, you know what I mean? I stopped going live. I game stream sometimes too. I have a bunch up there. I had a Ghost of Tsushima yesterday, but man, that gameplay was shit. I was so embarrassed. I deleted it. I kept losing on all my damn duels, but I'm gonna start playing with the ghost side of things. That shit's fun as hell. I don't know if you are a demon or for fighting demons. The samurai game's pretty dope. I pretty much talk about on there what I'm talking about here. Next step is more, I guess, visually pleasing with that. But for some odd reason, I don't get traction for shit with the video game streams. Folks hate those. I like doing it though, so it is what it is. So with that being said, I'm gonna tell you I appreciate you all coming here, bothering a little old me for some odd reason, right? Look up, go to you're on YouTube later on or after this or whatever. Look up Ghost of Tsushima, Tsushima, and there's a Legends mode, and it'll show you better than I could tell you. But yeah, anywho, I'm gonna wrap it up. That's my shift for today. I appreciate you all coming and stopping by. Yeah, for sure. For sure. My apologies. My bad. I wasn't even yelling like that. That's fucked up with me. I was answering a text and it kicked me out. I'm sorry. But anywho, if y'all would like to support the show, pick your boy up with a few bucks. It's not mandated or anything, but when you do, if y'all would like to feel inclined to support your boy. But yeah, I'm gonna see y'all later. I appreciate you all stopping by. God bless. Peace out. And like I always say, I don't say shit. So see ya.
What a fucking nightmare.